Hello and welcome to the Science Medium show on Creepy Puppets Presents. I am your science medium and creepy puppeteer, Tommy. So, it being Thanksgiving week and me having several videos that I've put out on this channel already this week and will continue to put out, the new channel introduction, the long science piece on paleoentomology, and, of course, and a Thanksgiving special that I'm working on. It's kind of been hard to do any sort of research-heavy episode of the Science Medium this week. So instead, what I thought I would do is begin a series on how you can learn how to begin to do mediumship. Now, mediumship isn't a superpower. It's not something that you're innately born with. Most people can learn how to do mediumship if they really wanted to learn. So there's a couple of steps in the process. I thought we would go over the first basic step today, and then we can talk about the other steps when I have another week where I don't have the ability to do a research-heavy video. So, before we do, I want to talk about sort of getting the environment set up to be ready to do our first experiment in mediumship. We want to have a comfortable environment. Not so comfortable that we go to sleep, but we want to have a comfortable environment. So, comfortable chair, comfortable sweater, as the case may be. I'd kill the LED light that I have over here, but then you wouldn't be able to see me properly. And then the most important thing we need is our recovery after we've left the trance. So I have a cold bottle of water, and then we want to do something that'll wake us up. Now, a lot of people do, I'll go up and make a sandwich, and I'll eat a sandwich, and that's the kind of stimulation I need. It varies from person to person, but I'm not opposed to using chemical stimulants, so I use a pipe. Now, if you don't have the ability to use a pipe or you have no interest in smoking one, that's fine. I'm just going to give you a quick mini tutorial on how to properly use a pipe. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to test and make sure that it's working. And I'd probably use a pipe cleaner on this if I thought that I needed one, if I really cared that much about it. However, like, this was a $4 pipe. In fact, the bottom is starting to crack, so I will have to throw this out very soon. But the great thing about corncob pipes is that they are cheap enough that you can quickly throw them out when they're no good. So you get maybe 3 months of use, throw it out, buy a new one for 10 bucks. So you don't have to really take the level of care and investment into it for more advanced kinds of pipes. So we're going to start by quickly loading the pipe with some tobacco. This is very cheap tobacco. It's primarily made for hand-rolled cigarettes, but it's marketed for pipe smokers. Most people don't smoke it in a pipe that much. I do because it's sort of a cheap bulk, and I smoke a blend. So I'm going to start by putting some into the pipe. And I got one of these things, which is a pipe tool. Pick them up at most tobacconists. It's got a tamper end, a scooping end, and a poking end. And I'm just going to sort of tamp down into like a circle. And then my blend is 2/3 cheap stuff, 1/3 good stuff. So another round of cheap stuff, another round of tamp down, and I'm going to close that, and then get my good stuff. This is a Terry Cavendish from Smoker's Pride. I just love smoking pipes. I know I smoke far too much, but it is just one of these things that's so lovely and comfortable that it just, no matter how bad your day has been, if you have a pipe at the end of it, it makes everything good. And you can probably see my stand is a little messy here, but I have my Arturo Fuente Gran Reserva $7 cigar that I smoke after dinner on Thanksgiving. And this is a pleasure, but it's just a pleasure that you can enjoy every day. This is a pleasure I can enjoy every day. So, one final tamp, and then I'm going to set this to light. But first I'm going to do that is test the airflow. If the airflow were bad, I'd stick this in and improve the airflow. But since it's not, I'm just setting it over there to be ready to go. Okay, so about meditation. If we're following the template set about in something like the Yoga Sutras, our goal in meditation normally is something called the samadhic state, or the immersion state. According to the Yoga Sutras, yogaschita vritti nirodha, which means yoga is the stilling of the fluctuations of the mind. So in the ancient Hindu and Buddhist worldview, the mind is like a lake, and thoughts are ripples that occur. And so the goal is to have a still lake of thought, to stop the conscious thought so that the subconscious thought can percolate up through it. So, now the samadhic state is very hard to achieve, but even close to that state, you can begin to be in a receptive state where spirits can begin to send you signals that you can begin to interpret in your thoughts. And that's the hardest part, is understanding the thoughts that the spirits are trying to send you. You don't have to get all the way in the samadhic state to channel or do mediumship. You can get sort of close enough, and there's no really good way to say this, but basically the sense of mind that you have is post-orgasmic. So, you know that kind of mental feeling? Well, that's the kind of mental feeling that you're going to have on your way to samadhi. That is the point that is really good for channeling from. Now, in my case, I've had so much practice at this. I've been meditating for 12, 13 years now that I can pretty much fall into it instantly. So we're going to start by doing a sort of breathe in, hold, and breathe out, hold, breathe in, hold. And as you do this, you're thinking, I am now breathing in, I am now holding, I am now breathing out, I am now holding. And that should be what's going on in your moment, should be the entirety of your thought process. And then the idea is, well, there's only one thought, we'll get to the point where we can kill that thought. But as I do this, you should see your body begin to relax, and your mind begin to relax and approach that post-orgasmic state. So we'll begin by, this is a mudra of meditation that is common in Buddhist circles, and so, you know, just the thumbs touch, because if you fall asleep, your thumbs would come apart, and so you want to be enough concentration to hold your thumbs together, so that you don't you're in enough concentration not to fall asleep. So, I am now breathing in, I am now holding, I am now breathing out, I am now holding. I am now breathing in, I am now holding, I am now breathing out, I am now holding. And as you do this, you'll find that your mind begins to go into that state of mindlessness, of no longer conditioned consciousness to the underfield of freedom from conditioned consciousness, from the subconscious, begins to radiate. And your body is at the same time feeling comfortable. And your mind is slipping and starting to feel like that. Post-orgasmic, again, no better way of describing it, state. And then you're going to want to try to practice holding it. See how long you can hold it. Can you hold it for 15 minutes? Can you go all the way to the somatic state? It's quite an experience once you've experienced it. So for me, I'm in a state now where I can channel, but I can go into that state pretty quickly because I've been doing this for a long time, and I've been meditating for a long time. I've decided now that it's time that I should start to come out. So I'm going to pull myself out. Just sort of big deep breaths. Bring my attention back to the moment, to the world. Feel my senses around me. Take a drink of water. And now we light up the pipe. And to do this, we do 2 lights usually. Now, some people say it's best to have matches, but I find that I just prefer lighters. So, sweep it in a circle, light the thing, and then tamp down again so that char layer is in one layer, and then do it again. We may have to tamp it down a little more. And there you have it. A lit pipe and your first experience with the mediumship process. Continue to work on that. Continue to practice that. If you can, and it's a great way to deal with stressful relatives. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving, even under our diminished circumstances. And I will see you next week with some more regular content for this show. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.